For having me today. I sure appreciate it. There we go. All
No,
right.
we're happy to have you tonight, Jim. I know you've got a great program, and you're gonna. I think this is going to help a lot of my agents or our agents that we run into unqualified buyers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we look forward to hearing what you got.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll tell you, I'm so blessed and honored to be here. Thank you, Stacy, for inviting me. I have some great news for every single one of you tonight. By the time we get done, you're going to be so excited because every single person in your marketing funnel is going to be able to be closed into a home within the next 12 months. How does that sound?
Great.
And you can all come in and applaud me afterwards, but I'll tell you, I'm so excited about this because we are truly helping a very underserved part of the community right now that they just don't know what they don't know. They don't understand what it takes to be a homeowner. And they don't understand budgeting. They don't understand what DTI is. They don't understand how their credit score works. And so what we're here to do at the GRP CDC, Community Development Corporation, we are a non-for-profit organization. We are dedicated to helping people with home buyer education and one-on-one counseling. And this is amazing what we do. It's a life changer for everyone. And I guess I can start from the beginning of what we do. We have a program. It's free to the agents. It's free to every single one of you. You just need to refer your non-qualified prospects to us. And we typically like you to do it via a three-way phone call because it's always better to have a warm introduction than a cold contact. And when you invite them to come talk to us over the phone, over a Zoom, or even in person, that's great because then we can then explain how our program works. And basically what it is once you hand someone over to us, you and I, or you and our counselors, have an agreement. It's called a quality service pledge. And we sign that pledge. And I believe, Stacy, you have a copy of that, don't you already?
I do.
Okay. Make sure that every one of your agents has that because it's a written pledge between us and you saying that once we bring these people up to qualified status and they have a loan ready to go, we bring them right back to you, the agent that brought them to us. And so we strike up a partnership in that respect. The client, they pay a nominal fee of $295. That's it. And they go through a 15-step program. It can be up to 12 months long, but a lot of clients can get their situation in order in a lot shorter time. Everybody's a little bit different, but basically we meet once a week for the first month by Zoom typically, or in person if it's convenient for the client. And we go through every single part of their background as far as their assets, their liabilities, their credit score, what's on their credit report, what we can do to help mitigate a lot of things it's on the credit report. Now, we are not credit repair specialists, but we can put together a plan for them to change their score, to get things turned around. And what it does is it educates them so that they can keep their score high. We don't try to fix their credit and have some unknown person do it for them. And then 3 months later, they're back in the same situation that they were in the beginning. That's not a success. That's not a plan for success. We educate them. We bring them their information and we show them what they need to do and how they can take care of their own credit and handle that. We also work with them on their budgeting. We look at where the money is going, and then we show them what can be done to change that and how they can help pay down their debts if they have them. We also work with them on their DTI score, because what happens is a lot of realtors will send someone over to a credit repair specialist who can get their credit up, maybe temporarily for 60 or 90 days, but then the DTI score is still too high and they don't qualify. And then they spend all that money for nothing, and they're 90 days later, they're back down to where they were before, and they go back to renting. They say, well, this is never going to work. We fix that. We change that. We educate them. So for the first month, we spend an hour a week with them, getting their plan put together. And then we meet with them once a month for an hour each for the remaining up to 11 months or until we get them qualified. And the great thing about what we do is, since we're a non-for-profit organization and we also are loan originators, we are a mortgage lending company, we have access to special programs that a lot of other originators don't have access to. For example, down payment assistance grants that are forgivable. And there are numerous amounts of grants that are out there. We know what they all are. And what we'll do is we'll choose a grant that will work for them. Some grants might have a 3-year or a 5-year waiting period before they can sell the house or they can redo their loan. Some have a shorter time period. Most of them are going to require a middle score of about 640. So if somebody has a decent score but doesn't have any down payment, we can help them. We can get them up to a 5% down payment. If someone has a low score but has some cash, we have programs that will get them an FHA loan with a middle score of as low as 580. And so we've got a lot of different programs to use and to utilize that can help the individual reach their dreams, which is buying a home, and help you accomplish your goals, which is selling a home. And we do that all for you. And the great news is that at closing, that $295 that they invest in the beginning gets credited back to them at closing through us. So essentially, it's a free program for them as well. The reason we charge the $295 is to help cover the cost of the counselors that are HUD certified counselors. But we want to do something for them as well too by giving back. So we credit that back to them at closing from the proceeds from the loan. So we're there to help the community. We're there to help you, and we're here to assist any way possible. So let me stop here for a second and see if there's any questions. There typically are, and that kind of helps spur on the conversation a bit. So let me open up the floor to anyone who has any questions about the program.
Okay, let me try to unmute everybody. That may be easier said than done. Okay, I'm sending you an invite to unmute. So if you have any questions, please.
Or Stacy, if you have anything you want to add, feel free.
I definitely do, Jim. I am curious, what exactly, when you're talking to these homeowners, especially the first time, what are you looking for, or what information do you need from them the first conversation? Do you need income? Do you need credit reports? Will you run credit reports? What's your typical first phone call like with a new client?
That's a great question, Stacey. I'm glad you asked that. Actually, the first phone call conversation really is getting to know your phone call a little bit more about what their goals and dreams are as far as getting a home, the challenges that they've had up to this point in getting into a home, and then what they'd like to accomplish. When would they like to be in a home? And then from there, once we understand what their goals are and what they want to accomplish, then we work with them on gathering some information. And we have a program that we use. It's through a company called, it's through actually an organization called NeighborWorks, and it's called Counselor Max and Client Max. And so we intake a lot of data, tax returns, income statements. We look at their assets, their liabilities, their spending habits. We actually, they create a budget with us of what they're currently spending. And it's a great way for them to find out where the leaks in their financial boat are. And then from there, they work on that aspect if that's something that needs to be worked on. We look at their credit report. We go through the report itself, and we identify issues. Sometimes we find things that are there that shouldn't be there. It's not their debt, and we can help get that taken care of. If it's something that is there that's theirs and it needs to be remedied, then we make recommendations for that as well too. And what we're doing in the process is educating them, because one thing that we don't want to do is get them into a house and then have them lose it in a few years. We want to teach them how to keep the house that they're about to get into. And then that's going to go generational. That's going to teach them how to teach their kids. And that's really what we want to do. We want to educate people. That's what we're all about. That's why, we are a non-for-profit organization, and our whole focus is education, and it's the counseling, and it's so powerful. I've got a client right now that I'm working on, and in fact, I shared that a little bit with you on the first time we did a Zoom too. And they had a DTI of 200%. I mean, I had to redo the numbers 3 times just to make sure I wasn't seeing things. And they had no idea. And it wasn't until we did the budget that it finally clicked, and they said, "Oh my gosh, we're in trouble." And they didn't even realize it. And they made some dramatic changes. And one of the things that we did to work with them on was kind of a creative strategy. We found that the wife had a 401k that we could borrow against, or she could borrow against at a low interest rate and pay herself the interest. And that loan that she took out from her 401k does not show up on her credit report. And so they were able to go in about 6 weeks. They dropped their DTI score from 200% down to 53. And I just visited with them here a couple of days ago, and they're down even further than that now, because they're using the debt roll down, and they're working their budget right. They're cutting back on certain areas that make sense for them. I'm not telling them where to cut back. They're the ones that are coming up with the ideas and the suggestions. It's all about them, and it's empowering them to make the right decisions for themselves so that they can hit their goal, which is getting into a house. So the first meeting is basically a getting to know you and then gathering some basic information. And then what I do at the end of that meeting is I send them in a quick email with some bullet points of what we discussed. And then we also talk about homework. What do we need to do for the next session? And I list that homework out in that email, so it's crystal clear for them what they need to accomplish, and they agree to it. Of course, it's not something I just give them, they balk at. It's something that we both agree on. And it's usually pretty easy stuff, just gathering documents in most cases. And they're ready for the next meeting. And I send them out another Zoom invite so they can put it into the calendar, and everything's organized. And then the next thing I do is I contact the realtor. This particular realtor likes to be contacted by phone. We just do a phone call, but I can do a text or an email, and just keep you or each of you apprised of your client's progress, so that you know what's going on, you know the plan. And then this is the best part. When they're qualified, Stacy, you're going to love this. And I think I shared this with you last time too, but everyone's going to love this. When they're qualified, we don't tell the client. We call you first, because we want you to be the hero, because you're the ones who thought enough about them to get them in touch with us. And we want you to be the hero to give them a call. So what we'll do is we'll call you first, and we'll say, "Hey, Bob and Mary are about ready to get a loan. They got qualified. We got a loan ready to go. We got the down payment assistance or whatever it is that's done. And they've got a loan for $285,000. We got a 5% down payment. So we need you to find several homes for them that will fit their budget, fit their loan. And then once you've done that, do a little research, then let's call them together and let's cheer them on. What do you say?" And so your response, of course, is going to be, "I'll have those homes in about 30 minutes. I'm going to jump on it right now. Let's get it going." And then we'll make that phone call to Bob and Mary, and we'll let them know that, hey, they finally got qualified. They're ready to go. And we got 5 homes ready to show you. When can you get the kids in the car and let's go? And all we got to do is pick out a house, because everything else has been done. We've done all the legwork for you. We've done all the background for them. We've educated them. They're going to come back to you understanding your role, the lender's role, and even the title company's role. And they're going to come back far better prepared to buy that house, because now they've got their budgeting set aside. They understand their credit score situation. They're more serious about it now than ever before. And they understand their DTI, and they're going to work on keeping that low so that they can continue to grow and develop and create financial fitness for themselves. So that's what we're all about. We're about education, and we're about helping you, the agent, close more homes. Think about this for a second. I want you to think about this for a second. How many people do you know that currently right now are renting that would like to own a home? If it's more than one, which I'm sure that it is, how soon can you get in contact with them to get them in contact with us so we can help you close more homes this year? That's what it's all about.
Now, Jim, tell me, do you work with like ITIN clients that don't have socials?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we can work with them as well too.
Okay, and do you work with renters?
Yeah.
People that are currently renters or just homeowners? Or is I would think the majority would be renters.
Exactly, renters. And actually, here's a great thing, and I'm sure most of you already know this, but there are a lot of apartment complexes in and around Houston and other cities too in Texas that are HUD funded. And part of their funding requires them to put on programs like ours and allow us to be able to come in and work with them to help them. And one of the key things with certain HUD properties, and this is something you may want to research yourself, but certain HUD properties have what they call an acceleration clause in their lease, meaning that if they find a home and they're in the process of buying a house, that because they're HUD funded, some apartment complexes for a fee, might be a couple $100, maybe $500, maybe something like that, they will accelerate their lease and essentially let them out of their lease because they're buying a home. They'll have to show their HUD statement, they'll have to show their contract to prove it, but they will allow them to exit out of their lease early because they're buying a home. So that's something for you to research, because if you have to put someone into a rental situation, wouldn't it be nice to put them in a rental situation where you can get them out whenever they get qualified?
Awesome. And if you would, Jim, I know, and I'd like you to repeat it later, but if you would give us your contact information so that we can have that, that would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely, Stacy. Absolutely. My email address is Jim, Jim, at grpcdc.org. So GRP stands for Global Research Park, CDC, Community Development Corporation.org. And that's my email address. My phone number, my direct line is 281-235-9355. Again, it's 281-235-9355.
Okay, now kind of more of a specific question, but one of my agents is asking, Anita is asking if you can help someone that say that they don't owe child support, but their credit report is showing that. And I realize that's a very specific question.
Yeah, that's something that we need to address with that agency and get that removed. If they're not required to show child support or pay child support, but it's showing on their credit report, that sounds like something got stuck on there without their knowledge. So, that, yes, we can work with them and the agent. Yeah, it does. Things happen like that. That's what we work with them on. We work with them with the agency. We show them where to go. We show them what to do, how to get that taken care of. And then we give it to them to do. That's their homework. But we engage them and we show them the next steps.
Okay. Also, is this only for people that are wanting to buy houses? It's not for, say, renters that just want to, increase their credit score?
The class is for anyone. So if they want to come in for the class or the program, I should say, and they want to work on increasing their credit score and learn how to do that, we are happy to have them as well too. Absolutely.
Okay, and how would that work with that 295?
Well, if that would be something they would just end up paying to do that.
Okay.
But we're going to educate them versus we're not a credit, like I said, we're not a credit repair agency. What we do is we will work with them on their credit score. We'll put a plan in place for them of what they need to do to increase their credit score. But then the price would be just $295.
Right. And that's really, I mean, quite reasonable.
It really is. It really is. We're not here, like I said, we're not for profit. We're not here to make $1 million. We're here to serve the community and provide a humanitarian service to a very underserved but very deserving population. And the benefit, of course, too, is more closings for you in the long run, which is really what we're all about here today, is helping you find a way to close more homes. And I was talking to some agents earlier today at a different agency, and I said, I'll tell you what, if think about this, the real estate market, if you've been in the market for any more than about 10 or 15 years, you know that there's ups and there's downs. Right now we're in an up market. You can't sneeze and not sell a house and do it for above retail. I mean, it's crazy what's going on right now. But those days aren't going to be forever. That's going to end, and we're going to have another cycle. Wouldn't it be great to be able to plant your seeds now of people who right now can't qualify, but in the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months will? And when the market does go back down, and all of your other friends are struggling to try to get real estate deals, we're handing you back your clients with a loan ready to close. I mean, think about this. Back in the 80s, people were excited about 16 and 17% interest. It doesn't matter what the rates are at the time. It matters, do they qualify? And that's what our goal is to get them qualified and give them right back to you. So wouldn't it be great and smart and prudent right now to give us as many people as you can and just pack your pipeline full of people who normally would be turned away, that now you're going to go after and you're going to go help them get into a home, and we're going to do that with you as a partner, and then we're going to give them right back to you. And I mean, think about this. What if you could increase your closings by 30% a year? Wouldn't that be cool? I had another agent ask me the other day, said, one of the challenges we have is trying to find houses to be able to sell to people. And I said, well, what about land? And they said, well, what do you mean? Can you find empty lots? Can you find land where you can build a house on? Well, we can work with them to get them a construction loan. And we also have a construction company that we work with that will build a house for them. So what if we could do that for them? And he said, that's ingenious. Why didn't I think about that? I said, I don't know, but we can do that for you. We can provide you with that. So we can do ground up construction loans for brand new first time homeowners. Not a problem.
Awesome. Okay, Jim, and can you tell me how that you keep your clients engaged throughout the process, and how often you follow up, and what would you say your success rate is?
Well, we're a fairly new agency, so we're just getting started ourselves, which is exciting. Our counselors are HUD certified. So right now, the clients that we do have, they're grateful. They are amazing to work with. They're thankful that we're here to help them. I had one lady that is a single mom with 4 kids, and one of her first statements out of her mouth was, I've never had anybody teach me how to budget my money before. She's almost in tears saying, I can't believe you're going to teach me how to do this. She says, I've been looking for someone to teach me how to buy a home for so long, and I've been renting, and I hate it. I want to have a home for my kids. And I can't believe you actually have a program that teaches this. So the people that we've got are really grateful for what we are providing. And it's a real need, and it's a real service for them too. And think about this: you are doing so much for the community out there by providing this service. It's going to be such a value add for you as a realtor in the community because of the people you're going to be able to help.
Okay. So would you say the first month you connect with them once a week, and then after that, what, once a month maybe?
Once a month for an hour, and then and the reason for that is majority of all the heavy lifting, if you want to call it that, is going to be done in the first 3 to 4 weeks. By the fourth week, they know exactly what they need to do. Now it's just a matter of time. The time to be able to get certain things off their credit report, time to be able to pay down some debts, to get to a certain DTI level, things like that. So the first 4 weeks is where we really spend the majority of the time getting a real solid foundation and a plan in place. And by the time that they're done with that fourth week, they pretty much know about how long it's going to take them to get qualified for a loan.
And do you have bilingual counselors?
We have right now, we have Spanish, and we have Farsi, actually. We're actually going to be doing some more hiring and training, and our goal is to mirror the entire Houston area. So we're going to have multilingual people here in the very near future. More multilingual people, Asian, everything. It's going to be incredible. Our whole focus is to mirror the Houston community.
That's a big task.
It is, but we're ready for the undertaking. Yes,
okay.
We're up for it. We're excited. We're really excited about what we're doing here.
Okay. And Jim, would you say that this is just for first-time home buyers, or would this be qualified for just about anybody? Anybody.
In fact, the first-time home buyer is someone who hasn't owned a home in 3 years. So it can be for anybody, really. Even if they own a home right now, they just want to have some help, and maybe they're in a home right now, but their credit score has taken a nosedive, or their DTI has gone up, and maybe they'd like to move and get another place, but they can't because they can't get a loan, even though they have a house. So we can help people in that respect as well too.
Okay. Is there a maximum annual salary that you work with?
No, not at all. Not at all. There are doctors and attorneys who make well into 6 and 7 figures that have issues with their credit and DTI and everything else. And it's not just a low income program. It's for anybody who's having challenges in qualifying to buy a house with a mortgage.
Okay. And is there a minimum credit score?
No minimum, because we will work with you to get your score. Exactly. That's what we're here for. I mean, but I will say this: it's a two-way street. You know, we're not going to do all the heavy lifting for them and just do it for them like a credit repair agency. We're gonna educate them. We're gonna want them to participate. That's why we charge a $295 up front. Some people, that's a lot of money. Other people, it's not a lot of money, but it covers the cost of our, taking care of our counselors. But more importantly, it gives them a little bit of skin in the game. Even though they're going to get it back at closing to us, it gives them some skin in the game up front, knowing that, hey, this is serious. And when we set up a time to get together to meet, we expect them to be on time. We expect them to be prepared. We set those expectations up front, and we have an agreement that we sign with them so that they know that, this is serious. This isn't just fun and games. We want, if they're serious about wanting to buy a house, we're serious to help them, and we're going to partner with them, and we're going to have a mutual work ethic to get this done. And everybody that does this they're all on the same page. We've never had an issue yet.
So what would you say your success rate is? I know you can't help everybody, but
we help the ones that want to be helped. Let me just say it that way. That's probably the best way to do that, because going into something like this, I never know what the outcome, how long it's going to take, what the outcome is going to look like. But the ones that want it are going to get it, and they're going to get the help, and they're going to get the assistance. And I can't push a rope, and I can't put toothpaste back in the tube, but I can definitely help people who want to help. Want to help.
Okay, excellent. Okay, anybody else, if you have a question, if you'd put it on the chat, I'd be happy to ask Jim. Um, Jim, can you think of anything else that might help our agents as far as, why don't you give us the website that we can direct them
Yes.
to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's perfect. And thank you for reminding me about that too. Stacy, it's www.grpcdc.org. So www.grpcdc.org. And on the website, you'll see our program on there. If you go to Shop Now at the top, and I don't like that name. I'm gonna get my web guy to change that there. But go to Shop Now at the top. It'll take you right to the page where the $295 is at, and they can go ahead and pay online. But what I would prefer them to do is, and by the way, on the website too, you'll see one of our affordable housing projects being built down in Freeport down there. So you'll see some of our ground up construction that we do. But most importantly, we will help direct them to the website once we've done the three-way call with yourself and your client to get to know each other, to learn a little bit about what they want, and then we can take it from there. And then we'll walk them through to the website to get them to join the program, and then we'll set their first meeting date on Zoom or in person at our office. Our offices, by the way, are in the city center area at I-10 and the Tollway. And you're welcome to come by anytime and come meet us. And we'd love to see you in person. But we typically tend to do the Zoom meetings because the people are more comfortable in their own homes and they've got all their information there. They can go to the file cabinet or whatever, the file drawer, and pull up an invoice or receipt or something, and then we can talk about it right then and there. So it seems to work best with the Zoom. But we'll schedule our first Zoom meeting, and then we always set a Zoom meeting from a Zoom meeting. So they all know when the next meeting is, we know when it is, and we just agree to show up on time, be present, and if they have to cancel because of medical emergency or whatever it might be, then we'll have to reschedule the time for them. But we ask for at least a 24 to 48-hour advance notice just so we can keep our counselors' time utilized and not waste anything. So, and just as well as your time is valuable as well too. So.
So really, if the first step would be to call you or one of your counselors, we have your number, right, but to actually set up the time for your first meeting.
Yes, so that you can introduce them to us rather than just giving a phone number to us and having them call us. Yeah, it would be a lot better for them to. It's just better for the relationship and for the successful outcome when they're introduced to us by phone or by Zoom first, and then we get the chance to meet, hear about their situation, and then they agree to the program. We'll send them over the agreement to sign. It's just saying that they will put the similar effort in on their end as we're going to put on our end, so that we can have a positive outcome. It's really all the agreement is. And but it's something that they sign. It's something psychologically resonates with people when they sign something that they're going to be there. It makes sense. And so we do everything we can to make sure that we have a successful outcome for everyone. So that's really the steps, is to call your client, let them know, hey, I know that you got turned down. I know that right now it's not a good time because you get turned down from the loan originator or a mortgage company, but I've got a solution for you to get into a home within the next 12 months or less. Would you like to hear it? And they, yeah, I'd love to. Great. Well, we've got this great relationship with a company or organization called the GRP Community Development Corporation. And I'm going to introduce you to the director, Jim Craig. And as an example, you can use one of our counselors too, it doesn't matter. And I'd like to set up a three-way call with you and your wife, or you and your spouse or partner. And let's listen to Jim. I think he's got a solution that will help you. And if they're wanting to get in the house, they're gonna jump all over that. And then we'll get on a call and we'll just walk them through the program and make them feel comfortable, make them feel that they're going to be helped. We're going to hold their hand through the entire process. We're going to educate them. They're going to feel like $1 million by the time they get done with that phone call, and they're going to thank you for thinking of them, for bringing them to us. That's how we work, and you're going to be the hero all day long.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of y'all have plenty of folks in your pipeline that for whatever reason, they're not ready, they don't know what to do, that can benefit from the program. I have no doubt of that. I can think of 10 of mine just off the top of my head. Think about your pipeline. I know that you've got some folks out there that would benefit from this program. And again, Jim, if you don't mind, please share again your phone number and your email address so that we can touch base with you soon.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear from you. My email address is Jim, Jim, at grpcdc.org. And I'll say it one more time, Jim at grpcdc.org. My phone number is 281-235-9355. Again, that's 281-235-9355. And our website is www.grpcdc.org.
Awesome. Okay, guys, does anybody have any questions? And if you do, if you'll just type them into the chat, that would be awesome. But I'm thinking just kind of out loud is, we are advertising constantly for, on Facebook Marketplace, we're on advertising on Craigslist, and we run into people all the time that they just need a little bit of help. And Jim, I just can see your program working for those folks, and it's wonderful that you make a promise to send those folks back to us when they're ready. Whether it's six months from now or 12 months from now. We'll need them 6 months from now. We'll need them 12 months from now.
Absolutely. And we keep you in touch, in the loop as well. After every counseling appointment, I have each of my clients or counselors, contact your clients. Let me start again. After every time we meet with your clients, we will contact you, and you let us know how you want to be contacted, and we'll let you know, hey, we met with John and Sue again, and we had a great meeting. We can't obviously release a lot of detail because it's confidential, but just to let you know, hey, we're still working with them, and they're moving forward and they're doing great. We'll have them qualified soon. But as soon as they are qualified, our promise to you is you're going to be the first to know about it before them.
That'll be a great feeling to let them know, hey, you're qualified. Let's go find a house.
Exactly. And wouldn't it be great in your marketing, once you've got your first client that was not approved, now they're approved, and you've got a picture of you and them standing in front of their house, because you introduced them to the GRP CDC, because you've got that connection, you add value to your real estate services. You can help anybody get into a home.
Yeah, nothing better than giving them the keys to the front door.
Absolutely. That could be a part of your new marketing too. I mean, seriously, you can let them know we can get anybody into a house, because now you can.
That's awesome. Okay, guys. Well, it is 9:11, and I see we don't have any other questions. But Jim, again, I thank you for your time coming out to talk to us. And guys, please, I know y'all have some folks that would really benefit from this program. So please don't hesitate to give Jim a call.
I look forward to meeting you all in person one day. You're welcome to come by our offices. We're off of Queensbury Drive over in the city center area, and the doors are always open. We've got great coffee, and love to see you in person and meet you, shake your hand, and help you out with your clients.
Okay, Jim, thank you so much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely, Stacy. You take care.
Uh,
Have a good
Okay,
night.
good
everyone.
night. Good night,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thank you.